Okay, so at this point, I've done more than 4,000 readings. I've also manifested my own physical twin flame union. And in this video, I am going to break down what is inner union and how to shift into it in 5 minutes or less, hopefully. So let's break this down in a way that is really simple and easy to understand. I'm going to break this down in a way where you can literally watch this video and immediately apply what I have taught to shift into the union energy, not later, but right now. When people talk about inner union, they talk about it as a prerequisite to manifesting physical union with your true twin flame. The reason this matters is because your true twin flame is going to be your ultimate mirror. Anywhere inside of yourself where you are holding on to pain or unforgiveness towards yourself, anger at yourself, you have a poor relationship with certain parts of your personality, etc. That is all going to be reflected to you in the external world and by your twin flame, which is what results in twin flame separation, running, chasing, all of those uncomfortable dynamics that happen. So the idea is that we achieve inner union so that our physical 3D reality reflects back to us that healed state, so that we have our happily ever after loving relationship. To understand how to achieve inner union, you must first understand that you are made up of many different parts of your consciousness. You call yourself by one name, but there are many different parts of you, some from different ages. Some of them are more confident than others. Some are stuck in trauma. Those are your inner child wounds. So you are very multifaceted. And so achieving inner union is not about becoming perfect or affirming over and over again. It's about methodically and slowly going through every single part of yourself and bringing that part of yourself back to a state of unconditional love and a good relationship to the other parts of yourself. So let's break this down in really simple terms. Let's say you have one part of your personality where you absolutely value competition and you strive for perfection and you're a really high achiever. Now, let's say that there's another part of you from childhood where maybe you have an inner child part that is more relaxed, that likes to go with the flow, is more feminine, and is very scared of competition or striving for perfection or any of that masculine energy type stuff. So what happens when we are not in inner union, aka we have pain within us that we have not resolved, is one part of our inner selves is almost bulldozing or not taking into account the needs, the feelings, and the intentions of this other part. So this essentially means that every single way that you feel is important and every single part of you matters. So let's say that an example of not being in inner union is this very ambitious part of you is kind of bulldozing and not taking into account the feelings of this other part. That would create pain within yourself. That would create distrust. That would create a sense of there being an internal enemy because you are hurting yourself in some way. You are pushing yourself really hard, not slowing down, not considering the feelings of the part of you that is in pain from those actions. So to essentially heal and come into inner union between those two parts, you would have to sit down to do inner child healing, to talk to both of the parts, have them communicate, figure out something, a solution that works for both of them. You're integrating so that this means that your competitive side, that part of your personality, now cares for and loves that younger version of you. And that rebuilds trust, that rebuilds security, and it rebuilds a sense of internal safety. You will feel more loved by yourself. And likewise, you will honor the part of you who is competitive, so that inner child will seek to understand and get in line with the ways that that competitive part needs to do things or take actions or pursue goals. So it's all about those two parts connecting. Where this can get really tricky is, I've just named one example, but we have maybe hundreds of scenarios or parts that are in conflict like this, depending on your personality. So achieving inner union is a journey of really literally getting to know the different parts of yourselves, even the parts of yourself that are deeply repressed, that you might have no conscious awareness of, but it might come up through meditation, it might come up through inner child healing or shadow work that you're doing. Achieving inner union is simply going through the process of having all of these parts of yourselves resolve their inner conflicts, love each other, and work towards a solution that will benefit the whole. That is how you achieve inner union, and that is the frequency that calls in your true twin flame into your life. Because as you give those misunderstood and bulldozed parts of yourself unconditional love, you are able to heal those wounds where you don't feel loved, and you're able to then receive that from the external world, from your twin flame, from any other source in your life. That is how you feel good. That's why union feels so good. It's a state of being of compassion, patience, cooperation, and unconditional love. If you need help cultivating this self-love, I go super in depth in this in my free masterclass, The Energetics of Union. Let me know what you think, if this resonated with you, if it made sense, and of course, follow for more.